Hey, what's happening, everyone? It is I, the man, the myth, the mustache. Tim here with a brand new video for you. Welcome to part 13. Part 13? 13 is my favorite number, it's so unlucky. And this video will certainly be unlucky for quite a few characters. Welcome to part 13 of What If Midoriya Was an All-for-One Fan. Please sit back and relax because you are going to be in tears by the end of this. With that out of the way, let's get the story going, shall we? There was a loud ringing in Midoriya's ears as he and several members of the League lifted themselves up off the floor to see they were staring down All Might and G-Force. Little to say, everyone hit the heroes with everything they had, but this was inevitably useless. All Might managed to shrug off and dodge the attacks, and Inko fought as if she had Midoriya's power. The fighting continued until a crackling voice spoke up through a damaged voice changer.
Hello, All Might. Hello, Inko. Did you miss me? Because I didn't miss you!
Midoriya's voice crackled through his damaged voice changer, his face exposed slightly from Inko's attack earlier. But what was most noticeable was a scar across Midoriya's eye, inflicted by his own mother. As the heroes paused, seeing the members of Phoenix Squadron for who they were, Midoriya, Monoma, Kamakiri, Mineta, Hagakure, Jiro, Ida, Shinzo. None of them were dead. They were all villains. The shock setting in gave Midoriya the perfect opportunity he needed. Snapping his fingers at All Might, the symbol of peace was brought to his knees under the immense pressure of Midoriya's telekinetic quirk. Inko was blasted by the waves of telekinesis just as she was all those years ago, but once again, she remained unfazed. Inko would not yield to her own quirk. Inko was unable to attack her own son. She couldn't lose him, not again. Thoughts raced through her mind as Inko saw her baby boy floating over All Might, a hand outstretched towards him. Blue telekinetic flames burning in his hands. That look in his now scarred eye told Inko everything she needed. Her son was gone. There was no Izuku Midoriya. Only the villain, Tactikill. The telekinetic villain's voice crackled to life again. It tore through the stillness of the area with its static.
Ah, All Might. You know, it's funny. You could have survived this encounter if you kept your quirk, but now you're just a loose end to eliminate for my idol. Why does this feel so familiar? Oh yes, the USJ. And we both saw what happened when I was holding back using normal fire. I wonder if there will even be bones left after I'm done. Ragnarok! Kill Inko! She's of no use to us.
Tactikill's hands crackled with fire as the League reassembled. Hizashi looked at Inko, growling, before looking towards Midoriya.
Inko? Kill Inko? My Inko!
Hizashi roared as he jumped not at Inko, but at Midoriya, pinning him to the ground, disabling his telekinesis and telekinetic flames. The other Nomu charged at Hizashi, only for the monstrous man to roar at them. Bowing their heads, the other Nomu began retreating from the fight.
Been training to do that. I am free man, not Nomu or slave anymore. Hizashi do what should have done long ago. You will die, Izuku.
Midoriya looked at the monster of his own creation with a look of genuine fear, as a heavy fist wrapping in muscle fibers prepared to crush his head, only for Inko to pull Hizashi's arm away from her son. Hizashi? That's you, isn't it? If you understand me and still care even a little, please, don't kill Izuku. Just knock him out so we can arrest him. Please, I'm begging you. Hizashi grunted at his ex-wife, nodding as he looked at her with intelligence and humanity, returning to his once cruel, monstrous eyes. However, during their conversation, they failed to notice Shigaraki, Toga, and Dabi had moved into attack positions. A knife slashed across Inko's shoulder, and curved around in the air, slashing her other shoulder. Then it returned to Toga's hand. While Shigaraki grabbed Hizashi by the arm he was holding Midoriya by, and Dabi blasted into David's lab with his flames.
Remind me to thank the old man for the new quirk, Zuko. Makes getting blood so much easier. Just wish I could get Stainy's quirk, too.
Toga laughed as she jumped at Inko, slashing madly at the telekinetic hero and mother. Magni aimed her magnet at Inko, causing her to be magnetized. Then she proceeded to magnetize All Might, slamming both the heroes into each other. Hizashi roared out in agony as he was forced to slash his own decaying arm off before his entire body began to disintegrate. But little did it matter as the arm slowly regenerated. Mustard unloaded round after round into Hizashi and All Might, his bullets glowing bright red before they began to explode upon impact. The explosions managed to stagger both titans. Tactikill stood up, dusting his lab coat, and raised a hand, pushing Hizashi into the burning lab as he growled at Hizashi.
Seems I must crush this rebellious spirit of yours once and for all. Nobody gets in my way. This is between me and Hizashi.
Inko tried reaching out with her quirk at her son, but felt nothing. She'd forgotten she'd suffered the same drawback as Izuku. Clearly being magnetized to All Might counted as contact, and thus nullified her quirk. Midoriya lifted and threw Hizashi around the burning lab, even stumbling across a cowering David's shield in the process. Pathetic. Or that's what Midoriya would have liked to keep thinking, as Midoriya levitated over Hizashi with his exposed eye narrowed, only to be blasted in the back by a powerful energy beam and sent crashing into the lab wall, seeing a somewhat shaky David standing tall, holding an extremely high-tech rifle. Before Midoriya could even return an attack to the scientist, Hizashi punched him across the face with an elongated sludge fist. The attack decimated Midoriya's helmet and voice changer completely. David's shield gave a hesitant thumbs up before Hizashi leapt away at Midoriya again. Elsewhere, the rest of their league had their hands full dealing with Inko, All Might, and a one-for-all charged Melissa. Twice looked up, seeing the trouble Midoriya was in, fighting both David and Hizashi. Time to pony up on his debt to Midoriya for pulling him through a dark time with that speech of his at the sports festival. Creating a clone of Midoriya, all Twice had to do was point, and the identical clone of Midoriya saw and understood the situation. Thanking Twice, he flew into the room, pushing Hizashi off the original Midoriya and pulling the rifle from David and floating it towards Twice. "I got you, boss! Ooh, pretty gun! Looks like some sci-fi crap!" Twice chanted as he grabbed the gun and fired the concentrated energy blasts at All Might, which combined with Mustard's explosive projectile quirk brought the symbol of peace to his knees again. He was running out of time. "Give up, villains! I've got you beat in training. Uncle Might and my dad have been training me to use this quirk before Uncle Might started teaching at UA. I've had the best training at the best facilities. Face it, I have you outmatched." Melissa shouted, slightly bruised, beaten, and cut up from fighting this many villains with multiple quirks at once. Soon, a voice echoed out that chilled everyone in the room to their cores. From the burning lab emerged two levitating Midoriyas, one holding an unconscious Hizashi using the telekinesis, the other tightly gripping David by the throat with a metal claw, as the second claw spun like a saw blade inches from the scientist's throat. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Staying safe online is an ever-growing difficulty, and hackers could exploit you. NordVPN allows you to change your IP address, making you harder to track, securing your privacy. In addition to providing you with safe passage through the web, you can also expand the reach of your favorite streaming services. Are you tired of going through 2, 3, or even 4 streaming services to watch your favorite anime? Well, with NordVPN, you can change your country and be able to binge shows like My Hero Academia, Naruto, and many others on your favorite streaming service with just a press of a button. Check out the link in the description to get 72% off when buying a 2-year plan for $3.29 a month. This deal is for a limited time, however, and thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video.
Is that so, Miss Shield? From my perspective, it would seem we have you outmatched. Now both you and All Might are to surrender to us,
or David here will get a bit more than just a visit to the Tactical Barber Service. As for you, Inko, I'll give you one chance since you did me the kindness of raising me as a loving mother, even if you lied to me for years. Run. Grunting, the duo of Melissa and All Might yielded, but Inko stood her ground in spite of Midoriya's mercy. So be it. I suppose a battle between mother and son was inevitable. Compress, you know what to do with Melissa and All Might. Now then, Inko, it's time to... Before Midoriya could even attack his mother, a loud scream finished his sentence for him. Die! Bakugo roared as he slammed an explosive palm into Izuku's back, pinning the teen to the ground. Bakugo's eyes were welling up as he tried to push his emotions aside whilst attacking his former friend. Kicking into the Midoriya clone that held David's shield, Aizawa destroyed it with minimal effort, and with equal skill, he grappled Inko with his capture scarf, pulling her towards himself and the students. Endeavor and Shoto combined their flames against Dabi. The combination kept Dabi's blue fire at bay. Quickly, Vlad King grabbed Melissa and David out of the combat zone as All Might and Bakugo held off the League and Midoriya. Young Bakugo, fall back! Make sure Melissa and everyone else gets off this island. I'll hold these villains off. I'll be right behind you! Bakugo grunted as he dodged Midoriya's claws before finally using his explosions to blast away after the retreating students and heroes, leaving All Might to face the League alone. Now I really can let loose, villains! This fight is over! Why? A dark voice echoed out from behind All Might before he was punched towards a smirking Midoriya.
Because I am here, All Might.
The voice of All for One laughed as Midoriya pushed down on All Might using his telekinesis, aided by All for One's own telekinetic quirk stolen from Inko so many years ago. The symbol of peace began to cough up blood and shrivel into a skinny shell of his former self as he looked up at the grinning Midoriya, scowling.
I lost your helmet's signal, Tactical, so I prepared myself to come and check on you all. I see you all had things in hand, though, even if you've all taken some damage. Granted, I am slightly annoyed at myself that I couldn't have come sooner, but there was more to do to make me ready to leave the base than predicted.
Midoriya frowned and sighed as he beckoned Shigaraki over. Unfortunately, Master, One for All has been passed on to another. Melissa's shield. I failed you. All for One laughed, patting Midoriya and Shigaraki's shoulders. You both brought down All Might and captured Eye Island. I wasn't expecting any more from you. The fact you know who holds the quirk now is enough for me. Now, before you two destroy All Might, or should I call you Yagi when you're like this? Regardless, I simply must share with him a little secret of mine before he dies. Getting close to All Might and whispering quietly, All for One shattered All Might with one simple sentence. Tactical and Golden Fox are both related to Nana Shimura. Breaking out into laughter as he saw the broken look on All Might's face, before nodding to Shigaraki and Midoriya, who both placed their palms on All Might, disintegrating the symbol of peace at an accelerated rate. All Might was no more.
Master, what did you say to him before he died?
Shigaraki quizzically asked All for One. I will tell you and Tactical later, once we have made sure the tower is fully secured. You two deserve to know, after all. True to his word, All for One had gathered Midoriya and Shigaraki in David Shield's old lab as Ujiko raced around making repairs here and there after the fight. Now, boys, it is time you both know that you are the descendants of an enemy of mine I eliminated many years ago, Nana Shimura. However, it would seem that she hid her daughter Inko from me by placing her into adoption to keep such a powerful quirk and her only child to inherit a quirk out of my sight. So by blood, you two are both cousins. But if I were to adopt Izuku as I have you, Tamura, you'd be brothers. Without hesitation, Midoriya and Shigaraki said adoption. And with the choice made, the two left the room so David's lab could become their master and father's new lab.
Hey, Izuku, where are the others, by the way? Like, none of them have to do any repairs or patrol the tower, so what the hell are they doing?
Rolling his eyes and sighing, the teen now known as Izuku Shigaraki looked to his adopted brother Tamura. Well, Tamura, Feedback thought we should celebrate our victory in the conference hall by hosting some karaoke and having Kurogiri run an open bar and buffet down there to boost morale. Frankly, after a win like this one, I can't blame most of them for going along with the idea. Tamura looked at Tactikill as he removed his golden fox mask, raising an eyebrow.
Yeah? Who's there? I could go for a stiff drink and some bad music, about now. Especially after finding out we're related now. Not just as brothers, thanks to our master.
Tactikill looked at his brother a little surprised. Tamura didn't really look the type to be into karaoke, but sure. Plus, it had helped Tactikill process he was no longer a Midoriya, but a Shigaraki now, too. Well, feedback, obviously. Then Toga, twice, Kurogiri, because, you know. Dabi, shockingly. Compress, Mustard, Pentagonist. Gremlin, who's actually getting lessons from Kurogiri on serving drinks. He's not doing bad either. Spectre is there, and Big Sis Mags. Everybody else is being antisocial and using the testing chambers to spar, but I guess that's how they relax. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but you know what? I could do with a distraction too. Let's go hear some awful singing. Just try not to get drunk and join in, for both our sakes, because knowing you, you'll either force me to come up on stage and join you in song, or you'll end up disintegrating the microphone. Tactikill groaned at Tamura as they entered the elevator, which had been reactivated and headed for the conference room floor. Tactikill and Tamura entered the room to find Toga and Hagakure bonding over some sushi rolls and wasabi sauce. Jiro sat up in the announcer booth after having turned it into her own personal DJ booth. Dabi was on stage with a mic in hand, giving a shockingly good rap which, not so shockingly, insulted Endeavor in every single way. Mineta stood behind the bar on a stool, polishing a glass, whilst Kurogiri watched over him, arms crossed. Mustard sat at a table, just watching Dabi rap and chatting with Twice and Monoma. Magne sat at the bar, drinking some pink gin. This bar was definitely a step up from what the league had had before. Izuku! Golden Fox! Can I get you guys a drink to celebrate? Mineta smiled, pushing the glass to one side as he waved to the two villains.
Give me a whiskey. Kurogiri can show you how I like it. Izuku, you gonna get something?
Tamura turned to look at Izuku, who was examining his phone and running a finger along the scar across his face. I'll have a drink later, Gremlin. Kurogiri, I need you to warp me to these coordinates in a sec. I just need to grab my gear from Ujiko and I'll be right back. Leaving the bar, Tactikill rushed off, forgetting his phone and leaving it unlocked. You're gonna look at it, aren't you, boss? Magne chuckled, looking over at Tamura as the shaggy-haired teen fished his specialized gloves out of his hoodie to stop him disintegrating his new brother's phone.
Of course I am. I'm his big brother now. I'd be feeling as a sibling if I didn't invade his privacy from time to time.
This answer got mixed looks from Magne, Kurogiri, and Mineta. Whilst on one hand they were happy All for One must have adopted Izuku, meaning they couldn't call him Midoriya anymore, but they couldn't call him Shigaraki, since that'd get confusing fast. Whoa, you're brothers now? Cool! So, what do we call you two when we're not using villain names or first names, since you're both called Shigaraki? Oh, and check his phone to see if he's speaking with any girls. Mineta quickly felt a misty clap around the back of his head, reminding him to start acting like a gentleman, or he'd be on dish duty for the next week.
Heh, that's the first thing I'm checking for, little man. As for what to call us, let's figure that out when Izuku gets back here. Oh shit, we got one. Who the hell is Manabi Aiba? Wait, let me check his villain numbers. Holy hell, Izuku's been networking. Let's see, La Brava, General Criminal, Skeptic, and Chronostasis. I don't know any of these people.
As Tamura's finger hovered over one of the names, he froze as a voice spoke up behind him.
Brother, didn't our master and father teach you to not go snooping into business you have no place?
Almost dropping the phone to the floor as he yelped, Tamura spun around in the chair to see what he assumed was an angry Tactical, who was floating his phone back to him.
I was bored, Izuku. What do you expect? Plus, I'm your brother. I deserve a free pass on shit like this every now and again. Oh, by the way, Short Stuff wants to know what to call us since we share a second name now.
Sighing, Tactical just shrugged. I don't know. What do we call you, Tamura or Golden Fox, and people call me Izuku or Tactical? Less confusing then. Now, if you don't mind, I have to see a contact of mine and hopefully get us 2 new recruits. Kurogiri? The warp gate opened in front of Tactical as he strolled through, humming a tune through his voice changer. Tactical sat across from a short woman and a well-dressed man. The villain duo, La Brava and Gentle Criminal. So, did you complete your test? Sipping some lovely Golden Tips Imperial tea from an all-too-familiar teacup, Gentle Criminal smirked and tapped the cup. Nezu's favorite teacup. Good work, Gentle Criminal! At the League, I can promise you, we won't make you do anything you're uncomfortable with, and your name will join ours in not just the history books, but legends amongst the generations to come. Miss La Brava, were you successful in completing your test? Without hesitation, La Brava spun around her laptop, which displayed blueprints from 2 highly advanced robot designs by a Mei Hatsume. The first titled Yue Security Drone V2 and Yue 4-pointer. I also went a little above the call of duty. This girl had blueprints of your support gear, so I decided to delete all traces of your stuff from Yue's databases. Not a single byte of info remains. La Brava smiled proudly at Tactical, who gave a nod and typed into his phone that he needed a warp gate back to Eye Island. When Tactical and his 2 new allies walked through the gate, they were a little surprised to find everyone gathered around a cowering girl with goggles. Please, I'm telling you, Mr. Tactical will vouch for me. Please don't kill me. Tactical slowly pushed his way through the group and loomed over the girl. Can I now? Strange. I don't know or recognize you in any way, shape, or form. Turning around and facing Tactical, the girl got up and bowed as if she had been blessed by her lucky stars. Oh, thank God, sir. I'm Mei Hatsume of the MLA. I operate as one of Mr. Skeptic's spies. It's my job to spy on Yue for him as a support course student. Tactical looked at Mei frowning beneath his helmet, as if waiting for something. Oh, damn it. I always forget the passcode, especially when I meet someone like you. Oh yeah. Destro Falls. Tactical looked at Mei, caught off guard that she was telling the truth. Redestro rises. She's okay, guys. She's on our side. Well, on an ally's side, but that ally looks favorably on us, so we have no issues here. And that's our video for the day, so thank you all for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. Before I go, there's a little bit of housekeeping to go over. First, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake animes with a twist. Check out a lot more if you're interested. Second, on behalf of We the Celestials, I want to thank everyone who was involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details are also in the description below. Give some love to the writer and the audio editor and video editor because they do a lot of work. Finally, if you're interested in what we do here with the Celestials, I want to extend an invitation to join our team. There's only one caveat. You must be 16 years or older to join our crew. Sign up in the recruitment Discord in the link below. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have an amazing day. And as always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and stay awesome. This has been Tim, Mustache out.